The game might be over, but we're just getting started. Welcome to the Todd Fox Post-Game Podcast, your go-to spot for real, unfiltered Angels talk, win or lose, on the Halos in the Infield Network. You never know what's going to happen. Walk-offs, meltdowns, heroics, or straight-up typical Angels disasters. We're breaking it all down. Who stepped up and took home the Golden Stamos, the most prestigious award in baseball? And who embarrassed themselves so badly they're stuck with the dreaded Nacho Night Award? Drop your comments, call in, and sound off. We're reading them all. So like, share, subscribe, and buckle up, because this show pulls no punches. And yes, Anthony Rendon is still a fragile little bitch. Take it away, Todd.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
Hey, welcome into another episode of the Halos in the Infield Post-Game Podcast. I am your host, Todd Fox, on the only network that gives it to you straight, no matter how bad they give it to you straight on the field or on TV. I was at the game tonight, and it took me a little longer to get home. So first off, I want to apologize for that. There was an accident on the 91 freeway, or the 5 freeway, I should say, before actually my exit at Carmenita. So I'm sorry I'm a little late, but I'm here no matter what, win or lose. We're here for the fans to commiserate, to celebrate, to be pissed off. And I'm telling you right now, in this streak that they've had since being 9-5, this is the 4th or 5th time the Angels have measly gotten 1 run, or 1 run 4 hits, or 1 run 5 hits, or 1 run 6 hits. It's been pathetic. Pathetic performance again tonight as the Angels go down, and they're streaking the wrong way, right? I think someone wants to tell us how they're streaking.
We're going streaking! Yeah! No, I'm sorry. We're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody!
I don't know if you want to follow Artie into the quad or the gymnasium, but the sentiment at the stadium tonight was just of disgust, just disappointment. And I think when you got to that 8th inning, when the Angels had a rally and there was the umpire again screwing us over. But again, I am going to be one of those fans. And I think you're probably like, well, Todd, I think you got to get on the umpire right here. It was the umpire's fault. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be the guy, because maybe a lot of you are, and you're pissed off that he pinched us. Yeah, I agree. The umpire pinched us. He was terrible tonight, right? But just like in football, when you lose a game because of a pass interference or something like that, well, it was your fault for leaving yourself in that position, that close of a game. If the Angels got to rely on umpires, they're in the wrong business. Umpires are going to screw you over. It's part of the game. Until they go to robotic umpires, it's just part of the game. But to blame a game on the umpires when you've been futile, like again, if this team's winning games, if this team is scoring runs, at least at a 4-run to 5-run clip per game, then yeah, I'll be pissed off that the umpires screwed things up. But when you're this futile, you're this terrible, 1 run 4 hits again against a team that has been really struggling pitching wise. I'm sorry, my friend, that is on you. That is on the overall organization. And again, wasted at bat after wasted at bat through this game. And again, I was stuck in traffic listening to Trent Rush, which is almost as a fate worse than death. And Trent Rush is on there going, "Hey, we're gonna talk about how this game and then his whole heinous, it went down from a high pitch level of 10 or above to about a 4 or a 3, as he was talking about. Well, they just couldn't get anything going. They got to do a better job. The pitcher, Sagano, he pitched really good for the Orioles, and he got the job done. And the Angels didn't just, they weren't able to get anything going." And, he just kept going more monotone and more monotone. I'm like, hey, this isn't Trent Rush. And you know what this means, fellas? And I told everyone in the car that there's no way this asshole is going to take any phone calls. And that's exactly what happened. He didn't take one phone call. And that is the major reason why, because again, these guys, propaganda prime minister, PP, aka Roger Lodge, Trent Rush, bootlicking houseman himself, none of these guys are going to take phone calls. None of them are going to, because they know what they're going to get. They're going to get fans like me. They're going to get fans like you who are pissed off, and they're tired of the rhetoric. They're tired of everyone saying, don't worry about it, it's only May. Or they're tired of, hey, come out for the fleece things. Then again, I got season tickets, so sue me. Because this thing that I posted the other day has gone freaking viral, and everyone's like, well, see, that's why you shouldn't go to games. You're giving Artie money. It's like, well, you know what? I had those tickets paid for. They're done, right? But everyone, again, if you look at the ratio that he makes money off of ticket sales compared to food concessions compared to everything else bought in that stadium, ticket sales don't add up to much. Again, for the team to make money and not lose money, like they're going to lose $50 million this year, the Angels. For them to make money, they have to get 3 million fans. For about a good 15-year stretch, what did you see in this on the in September on the wall, in the green wall out there? Thank you, fans. Do you know what that meant? Another 3 million fans came through the turnstiles, which means the city of Anaheim makes money, which means the team makes a ton of money for that 3 million in revenue. If you make less than 2 million, 2.5 or less, you're not making money. I'm sorry, you're just not. You make money on a certain amount because the MLB pays you for getting to a certain threshold, number one. And number two, if you're maxing out your seats, yes, you are going to make tremendous profit. You're breaking even when you're getting stands filled like they are right now. Because even though they announced the tickets being sold, you still have to have fans in seats paying for parking, paying for food, paying for jerseys, memorabilia, because you don't know how much they make on that stuff alone. That's where they make the money. So if you don't have butts in the stands, you're not making money behind the scenes. So with that being said, tonight's game was boring. I'll be flat out there. I love baseball. Don't get me wrong. I love it. It was boring for the Angels hitting wise. Again, you're sitting up there just on pins and needles, hoping that Hendricks can give you some good innings and let the Angels stay in the game. You're hoping that the Orioles don't blow it open at any moment. And that maybe, just maybe, you guys won't run in when we're up to bat, have a 2 to 3 minute inning, and put the Orioles right back out there with a chance to, again, sort of like chess, king me, and put the game away. So you're stuck in the same kind of mentality, at least I was, where it's just like, man, dude, at any moment this team can kill us. At any moment. And after the first couple innings and Hendricks settled down, as we'll get into the matchup, I don't think Hendricks pitched all that bad. You know, and the boo chants were out. You had some sell the teams, but as you left the stadium tonight, before I get into what happened in the game, you had a lot of fans just pissed off, walking out, talking about the owner. It's getting more and more blatant, and you're hearing it walking down the ramps. You're getting a little sell the team here, a little sell the team there. It's starting to become a little bit, more widespread. I think fans are starting to understand, you can go to the games all you want. I'm not going to get pissed off of whether I go, whether you go. If you choose to go and put yourself through this shit show, then by all means, I'm doing it. If you want to do it, fine. But I'm not buying anything when I'm there. I bring in my own stuff if I bring in any kind of snacks. We ate dinner before we came to the game. We had snacks from like the Dollar Tree. We did it on the cheap, and it's all good. I don't pay for nothing at that stadium. I love my team so much, but it's really hard to watch. Despite, put Artie aside, I can't. There's just times like tonight where it's just like, come on, man. Like we're here like one of the podcasts that goes to all these games. And just like the fans, we're like you. We want to be the voice of the fan. And right now, the voice of the fan is completely negative, and there's no reason for me to be upset about that. Because you guys and gals have every right to be upset. You can't tell me again, even if like we're comparing the Blue Jays lineup, right? Do you think the Blue Jays have a better lineup than we do? You could say, okay, Guerrero, possibly Bichette outshine some other players. But other than that, when Trout's not injured for the 500th time, like he can be comparable or if not better than Guerrero. This lineup should be scoring runs, and they're just not, because you could look from all the way in the outfield to wherever you're sitting behind home plate, wherever we sit, you can see that they let some good pitches go. If you're watching on TV, they're overly aggressive in counts. They're not hitting for hits. They're going for home runs. You could tell. How many times did you see right-handed hitters tonight? Just how many times did you see? I saw it at least more than half a dozen times that they were hitting the ball, routine fly balls to right field, routine fly balls to center field. They're uppercut swings. We've been saying it all year. We said it all year last year. They have not changed it up. And you're killing guys' averages in career. I just think Joe Adell's much better than when he's coming off. Some people disagree, and I don't care. To me, at worst, he should be a 230 hitter. Why is he batting 198? Why is Kyron Paris down to 214? Why is Renifo batting 213? Why is Travis d'Arnaud batting 204, worst in his career? There's no rhyme or reason other than these guys are doing whatever the hell they want to or following a wrong regimen or game plan drawn out by their OC and the rest of the shitty coaches. And it's on the players too, of course. But if you're told to just hit home runs, you're going to just try to hit home runs, and it's going to be pathetic. You might get into one or two, but it's just I'm depressed tonight. This one got me. So the Angels lose 4-1. Baltimore improves to 14 and 23. The Angels fall to 15 and 22. Every team, I think, in the West, every team in the West lost tonight except Houston. So you would have had an opportunity to pick up another game. And I know I don't like looking at standings, but it's depressing to see him 7 games out. Henderson started out the game with a home run. Holiday singled to center in the second inning, scoring O'Hearn, made it 2-0. Then Rivera singled to left, scoring O'Neill, 3-0. Then Ward grounded out to shortstop with Moncada at third. Again, whatever. Sacrifice right there, whatever you want to call it, but that's not good offense. And he hit it to shortstop. They were lucky the infield wasn't playing in. 3-1, and then, of course, in the 9th inning, Henderson triples to right, Rauschman scores. But that was after – it's almost a guarantee that if the Angels blow a situation to have runners to come in, they will automatically give a run back, like within, no doubt, the next half inning. That inning started off getting 2 men on, and with nobody out. Of course, another out happens, 2 men on, 1 out. And then you have, you get the bases loaded, you have an opportunity, and you can't score anybody in. You have the great at bat by Neto, actually. He strikes out. There was 2 outs. And then you had the fly ball to end the inning. And, it would have been bases loaded, but Shonowell, that pitch was way outside. 4 runs, 9 hits for the Orioles. 1 run, 4 hits for the Angels. The winner, Sagano. Hendricks falls to 1-4. Batista with a save. You had Hendricks pitch 3 runs, 5 innings, 3 runs, 6 hits, 3 earned, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, 99 pitches thrown. Detmers had his first clean inning in over a week. 1 innings pitched, just 1 strikeout. Then you had Neris come in. He pitched a clean inning. Anderson had a little trouble. Sean Anderson making his debut, 1 run, 2 hits. He did have 3 strikeouts through an inning and a third, and then Jansen came up to give up a hit to score a run. So their ERAs, 5.30 for Hendricks, 9.39 for Detmers, 16.88 for Neris, Anderson 6.75, and Jansen 5.40. Opposed to Sagano, a team that's supposedly struggling, he pitched 7 1/3, 1 run, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, no walks. Big key right there. Angels only worked 1 walk again tonight. They gave up 4 as a team. And the Angels struck out 10 batters, but they also struck out 8 themselves. Again, you threw almost 50 pitches more than the opponent. That's not good. Again, the bullpen did its job, only allowing 1 walk and getting 3 Ks or 1 walk, 1 hit. Just another bad overall night. Just they can't hit with runners in scoring position. They can't get out of their own way. 0 for 4. They left 4 men on base. It boggles my mind, man. I need something to cheer me up, and well, here's a skit. Enjoy.
Well, I'm sorry you had to see my ass cheeks. And my nugget pouch. And my bulge. I guess what it all comes down to is that the angle of my dangle is inversely proportional to the heat of my meat, right? What the hell are you talking about? Get out of here!
There you go. And then one more.
Big one! Take us behind those rocks.
Moving behind the rocks!
Keep going. You're good. You're good. You're good. And stop. Don't worry, Captain. We'll buff out those scratches.
A little comedy right there, I guess. Look at the lineup tonight. A lot of zeros. And I'm not going off tonight because I'm tired. It's been a long week. I've worked a lot of hours. I don't have production crews and stuff like that. None of us do here on Halos in the Infield. We do our own stuff. We're not spoon-fed. So we appreciate every last one of you, and we don't want to complain. But I'm complaining because it was one of those nights where I was tired, and I'm like, dude, Nick, we deserve as fans better performance than this. If they would have went down 4-1 with like 10 hits, and a lot of base runners, they just couldn't get it done. I'm okay with that. Even though I'd be bitching about the runners in scoring position and not bringing them in, I want to see more effort, and I don't see it. I just see a lot of swings and misses, no working walks. Although, Shauna Will tried, but that would have only been 2. It's just, I got to hit it as far as I can. It's like, that is terrible baseball. Zach Neto, 0 for 4 in a strikeout, but he did have a 13-pitch at bat. That was nice, but he didn't come through. I'll give him a pass. Shonawell, 0 for 4, should have had a walk. Mankata, 1 for 4. Taylor Ward, useless as can be. I don't care if he got a sacrifice for the RBI. Ohapi was useless. 3 more strikeouts for him. Travis d'Arnaud was useless. 0 for 3. Renifo, 1 for 3. Joe Adele actually with 2 hits. And Kyron Paris, useless, 0 for 2. So this was disappointing on so many levels tonight. I wish I had better things to say, more things to say. Instead, it was just really, really ridiculously bad tonight. And the Angels lose, the game tonight. Brianna over TikTok says, I hate that the D-backs bullpen blowing our lead. The D-backs blowing the lead, a big lead against the Dodgers, which, I'm not even into like watching them scuffle, which I wish they would be scuffling more. They're just not, and it's not fair. But, we have who we have as owner, and that's who to blame. Because when it all comes down to it, who deserves it or who could own up to this more than Artie?
It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem.
Now, let's get into the slide real quick, which is the sad one. Because, again, we play Stukas when they win. When they lose from first pitch to last pitch, it's this song. And then we got Buttercup last night. So I'm going to play you a little bit of this one because I can't stomach this one all the way through either. That's enough. Let me tell you this real quick before I get into the awards and we get into your comments. Give me your thoughts on what have you thought about the news today? You have 2 big news stories when it revolves around the Angels. Number 1, the guy we just had the bobblehead for, which is Ben Joyce, went officially on the 60-day IL. I told you 2 nights ago, including on another podcast, I said, Ben Joyce should just get it done now, get it over with. He needs Tommy John. And I had a lot of messages in my box saying, dude, that's not right to say. I don't think he's, he's a friend of the show. He's been on like 3 times. We've interviewed him. He's a nice guy. I was there for his autograph signing and all this other stuff. And speaking of autograph signings, tomorrow, Zach Neto at Rockin' Brews over there in Buena Park. Come down at 10 o'clock to see him. And we're going to get some questions and answers. And he's got some freaking, he's going to have autographs, taking pictures with kids and stuff like that. So here it is real quick.
For me, and I'm feeling good.
So Zach Neto will be there tomorrow. So come there and check him out and then come to our tailgates afterwards. But before that, again, getting back to it, Ben Joyce, I love the guy, but he needs to have that Tommy John. And it is more than evident now because the team first, and you can't believe this staff at all. They literally come out there and they say, oh, he's got an inflammation on his arm. He's had like 3 or 4 inflammations in his arm because he pitches more than 6 or 7 innings. That's ridiculous. He's throwing at a unhuman strength of pitch right now, 105. And the velocity is not supposed to be that good, but it is. And he's got movement and different arm angles and stuff like that. So it's stretching his arm. He needs the surgery. Let's just be frank. Let's get it out there. Why are we putting him on the 60-day IL to then, to then get a reevaluation? You're wasting 2 months of rehab. So let's just say he gets his Tommy John this year, right? Or if he were to get it tomorrow, you're talking about a full year from now that we would see Ben Joyce even attempt to throw a baseball, and even then, no. So you're talking about an entire season plus most of next season. So you're talking about an August or September come up for Ben Joyce, and then you got to rehab yet again another 6 months like Walker Buehler did before your arm's completely healed 2 years later. So 2 years later, we'll put him in opening day 2027. And that's if we don't go on a strike. So non-strike year, Ben Joyce would be ready and back at 100%. Jimmy says it is the opposing teams love playing the best weather location in Anaheim. It is. They love the location. They love playing against our team that just swings for the fences. So Ben Joyce is done, in my opinion. I think he is. They're going to reevaluate him, but this is too much. And then they said it was a shoulder. Okay, so how does it go from forearm inflammation, elbow inflammation, to then your shoulder? That doesn't make a lick of sense. Just like Mike Nelson Trout, who all of a sudden, hey, it could be scar tissue. That's when he's saying scar tissue. Don't worry, he'll be back for his next bobblehead or 10-day IL at best. Really? How long has he been out? 2 weeks already? So all I'm saying is Lovett says there, what's up with Ben Joyce? 60-day IL, inflammation, or his shoulder. Back to Mike Trout. Mike Trout is literally going from a scar tissue issue to a bone bruise. I've had a bone bruise. There's different variations of a bone bruise. Like I ran into in single A another player, and he went knee to my shin. And I got like a golf ball size contusion and bruise on my bone, which almost was a fracture and could have been a hairline because they didn't have the best equipment at the time, right? I couldn't, my leg, I broke all kinds of blood vessels and my leg became stiff because of all the blood that was running on the you could see it rise to the skin, and it was changing my skin color. And I felt the dead blood, and it took like a week for it to go away. Okay, I get that. And I had a similar situation when I fouled one off of my shin, a couple months later. I get that. That's fine. And those are painful, and they do slow down your mobility and your movement. I get it. So the Angels said, oh, it's just, it's not scar tissue. It's a deep bone bruise. Okay. Why is he not running? that just means I think he broke something or fractured something. Or maybe a tendon. And if that's the case, they are really lying to each and every one of you, including myself. And they are trying to just push this because they know how much of an embarrassment this is. And I will tell you straight up, as an Angel fan, as a Mike Trout fan, I love Mike Trout. But there comes a time that if this is an injury which is going to put him on the 60-day IL, this was a guy, and let me remind all of you, this is a guy who, before these injuries, was capable and projected to at least hit 650 home runs and have a chance to be like in the 700s, maybe at a Bonds-like level if he stayed healthy to like his, late 30s, maybe 40, 41 like Bonds did, right? Non-steroids. And think about this too. Ken Griffey Jr. went down with almost 700 home runs. And that's with playing 4 or 5 years himself, injury plagued. I love Mike Trout, but if this is again another scenario where they just play it off as nothing and it lags into the 60-day realm, not only is it just it's not even a joke league-wise anymore. Nobody believes, as a Pirates fan, as a Tigers fan. I've talked to lots of fans from different organizations, and none of them, like they always tell me, man, it's always one of two things. Man, Mike Trout is being wasted in Anaheim. Number one, you hear that from all the fans. Number two, it's such a shame that he's always hurt. That is the big time narrative. And it is so sad when fans around the league want to love this guy. And here's the thing, too, to think about. Mike Trout became bigger than he was before the injuries last year. And why would I say that? You had Batman and Robin. Robin and Batman are the two biggest superheroes together on one team. Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. And the fans universally love both of them. And there's still about a 30% or less part of the fan base that still supports Shohei Ohtani despite where he went, right? The loss of Shohei Ohtani was a gut punch, right? However, when Mike Trout was left as, when he signed that contract extension, what was the narrative? What was the shirts being passed around? What was the banners all over social media? It was loyalty. This is what loyalty looks like. And if you didn't embrace Mike Trout as a SoCal dude, as an Angel, you did then. This is our guy. He's staying. And I think a lot of Angel fans wanted Ohtani to stay too. They were like, hey, this is our guy. We want him to stay. He's an international superstar, and he's with Mike Trout. How cool is that? But the team was never built around either one of them. And the writing was on the wall that Ohtani was going to leave. And Rendon is as useless as a dump in a freaking porta potty outside the stadium. So there was no three-headed monster. Ohtani right now made the right move and left. We don't like it, but he won a World Series, so you can't shit on him, right? You could not like him, but it is what it is. He's gone. So Mike Trout was then needed by all us Angel fans. Knowing that we weren't going to compete last year, he just needs to be Mike Nelson Trout again. He needs to be good again. He can't be injured again. And so with losing Ohtani, everything was put on Mike Trout. Mike Trout's sales of his jerseys went through the roof. Loyalty banners and loyalty shirts were now being sold again. And it was Mike Trout's team all over again. And what happened? Mike Trout gets hurt for the year. Around the same time as this year. And it was done for the year. So not only do you lose one of your best players, maybe a generational guy or a guy we'll never see again. We had him and he's gone. Blame it on ownership. We didn't even get nothing back for him. But then the fact that Mike Trout, our hero, our kids' hero, the guy everybody comes here to see, the guy that everyone in the rest of the league knows and equates to the Angels. When you think Angels, you think Mike Trout. Well, guess what? He's hurt again. So I am making it known today. And I want to know if you agree or disagree. If Mike Trout goes out again on a lengthy injury and we have to watch him cry in a press conference or in the dugout or in the locker room again, and I'm not shitting on him crying because I know it with him, it's real. He generally wants to play and play hard for us and win for us. But one player is not, it's not the NBA. One player is not going to change the team. You need the team to be all together, organization all the way down. So he's in a lose-lose spot. But if I see him crying about an injury that is far worse than we think, and he's gone for good for this season, please, Mike Trout, agree or disagree with me, fans, he needs to retire. I don't want to see him striving, pushing a construction tire, showing how strong he is in the offseason, doing any workouts. I rather you just stay at home with your wife, play with your two sons, teach them how to be baseball players like yourself, and enjoy your career being a dad. I rather, and then if that's the case, retire, get the payout, and have Rendon cut after this year. And if Artie's going to still be in charge, fuck it. If Artie should just hit the reset button with the team, and there's nothing else we can do. We can't push him out. He's going to be there till he passes. And I think that's the best thing to do now, because when he's retired, he is the face of the Angels. Who else is the face of the Angels? You could say, well, Zach Neto is ascending to that spot. Logan O'Hoppe is ascending to that spot. Okay, but they're not there yet. Have they made an all-star game yet? No. Have they made some razzle-dazzle plays? Yeah. But they are not the face of this franchise. No matter what, right now, Mike Trout could not play another game the rest of the year. He is still the face of the franchise. And see, Frantic says, why would he retire when he's under contract? Well, you can retire. You just get paid out a percentage. And Mike Trout has made a lot on endorsements. I would think he could still stay on in what is it called? An advisor role. But do you really want to see Mike Trout play out his contract if he's only playing about a fraction of every season? And Frank's Ocean right there says, yeah, but we get nothing out of it. We're not getting anything out of it the last 4 years either. And I think it's truly sad to see our hero, and I'm going to put it out there. Our hero, he's one of my heroes, dude. But I don't want to see him get voted into the All-Star game again because he's Mike Trout. He didn't get in because he put up numbers. And he's not a one-man team. But dude, like Hutch says, call it a day. He's got plenty of cash. His family's his kids are well taken care of. And you're still going to get paid out because these contracts are guaranteed. If you retire, I think you do lose a percentage, but it's not as bad as you would think. I mean, just seriously, bro, like if he has ligament damage, you're talking another season gone. So I just don't think it's worth it. I think that, a lot of these players have egos too. I know he wants to get back. You could see it in his eyes that Mike Trout wants to win for us, that he wants to play good for us. But if your body just says, hey, I can't do this, then who are you fooling? And the thing that scares me too is Ben Joyce's brother, right? When we had him on in an interview earlier in the offseason, I talked about him and I said, hey, man, how excited are you that you could possibly be pitching in the major leagues with your brother? Like you both could be pitching for the Angels because we drafted Ben Joyce's brother. And I said, how cool would it be that if one game, your brother came in the 7th inning and then you came in the 8th inning to, set up Jansen or whatever, right? And he said, oh, man, that'd be great. That'd be cool, because I always give him crap. And it was funny. Like he was talking about his brother. Well, his brother had to retire with severe arm issues. So when the guy was barely pitching for high A rookie ball, he didn't even get a chance because he had to retire. He had really, I guess, degenerative, something happened with his elbow as well. And he felt it just wasn't worth it. And he called it quits. I don't want to see Ben Joyce get to that point either. Ben Joyce, this would be his second Tommy John. It's not good. Because usually after you have one, there's about a 70% chance you won't need another one. And usually pitchers pitch consistent after their first Tommy John. But I don't know, man. This one's tough. I don't want to see either one of these guys go. Tinton says we should seriously look to extending Ohapi and Neto. I agree. I agree, but you also ought to play the game too, which means as long as you can keep them on the rookie contracts, because you can't extend them right now while paying Mike Trout that much, and you're also paying $38.6 million to Rendon as we speak, who's currently living in Houston, not giving two shits about the organization. We got a lot of comments to get to, by the way. I just want to say Mo Sislak says this fucking team chimes in with a super sticker. That's just my thoughts on Mike Trout. Angels go down 4-1 tonight. Not competitive at all hitting. I mean, really not competitive. Really bad to watch tonight at the game tonight. We have a tailgate tomorrow. Come out, come one, come all. It should be fun. We'll have a good time at Bruheim if you don't know where that's at. But it's right by State College. Look it up. It's pretty good. We'll be there tomorrow. Zach Neto in the morning. I can't even play Spritz O'Clock, but you get credit, Mateo. I'm going to get through these comments. Tyler says the time to get the O's going with a nice dose of Halo, Viagra, Q FanDuel. And let me get to that right now. The FanDuel theme. By the way, if you guys and gals want to go to an Angel game or any kind of sporting event, I suggest 714 Tickets. We have a partnership with them. You get 10% off of your tickets. And again, the price you see is the price you get. So $17 on the ticket app for 714 Tickets. You're not paying any service fees. You're not paying any taxes. It's exactly $17. And if you put HITI in the the promo code, you get 10% off. And that works for any purchase of tickets, not just one time, not just 2 times, not just 10 times. As many times as you use the app, you get 10% off with us, including their great prizes. So even if you don't want to go to the Angel game, you can go to other games. It works for that. It works for monster trucks. It works for everything. Grillmaster was talking about the umpire. It wasn't even close. I know the strike zone, but I just don't give a damn when the team's not hitting. It doesn't really make sense if you're not hitting either. Must have been a lot of traffic out there getting start. Yep, it's late start right there. Regardless if we would have lost, Angels suck on Twitter says. If we take the next 2, are we still running the West? Look, if we win tomorrow, everything's gravy. If we win the next game, everything's gravy again. You got to go 1-0 every game. We didn't today. You got to turn the page, but JM says it best. 4 hits. Dan Rio says, I blame the home plate umpire. Worst ever this season. Fire the umpires and go to the robots. Mike Trout checking in on YouTube saying we suck. I've already I want to be ready for the Doyer series. And Joe says, oh no, we suck again.
Oh no, we suck again.
Yes, we do. Also, I am that guy that it was the umpire's fault. Dan says also we need to sign Alfonso in the offseason. That's not going to happen. Ricky says runs is better than O'Neal. O'Neal called the moon a planet last night or tonight. Also, JM says, hey, have you seen the RPM on Anderson's changeup? Hey, I mean, listen, AIM 830 along with everybody on FanDuel. I mean, they're quick to turn the page. They don't want to talk about the futility in the hitting. And they sure as hell don't want to talk about Mike Trout. And also they don't want to talk about our boy Ben Joyce. Tustin says, does Washington come back after the season? I think he'd have to say no. And that's with the Angels trying to extend him. He's not able to run this team the way he wants to. You can see it. And even if he did, there's nothing he could do about it because he's been making some stupid decisions pitching-wise too. And Washington did nothing tonight. Fire him now. And that's one thing that I will agree with Dan. Now, I don't agree with the umpires being their fault, the reason why they lost this game, but I will say that if the umpires are calling a shit game, why aren't you out there defending them? And Dan Rios has been saying that over and over, and I have to agree. There is no reason for you to be sitting on your ass doing nothing. Get out there, fire up the team by getting tossed. All the good managers and Hall of Fame managers have done it in the past. Ron Washington just is like, well, that could have been a strike. I'm not going to argue about it. This seat's pretty warm tonight. I like how I'm seating, and I like these sunflower seeds. I'm pretty comfortable right now. So, yeah, he's not going to get off his ass, and that's kind of disappointing. Tennant says, I agree. I think Pujols and Hunter come in next year. Only thing is with that, it's either one or the other. Tintin, if you don't know, Pujols and Hunter didn't leave the team on the greatest of terms. And that's another reason why Torrey Hunter finished his career back in Minnesota and Detroit, because he didn't get along with Pujols at the end. They had a little power struggle there. So I don't think those two would come in. You'd have to pick one or the other. Mateo says, I agree with Todd. We need to stop blaming the umpires. They have nothing to do with it. We have to understand that they are humans and they make mistakes. Don says, I already knew we weren't going to beat these guys because we don't beat teams that are struggling. We're going to lose this series, and we might even get swept. Those are facts right there. Big time facts. Joe says, welp, at least I got Ducks hockey to look forward to. Mateo says, also, this team irritated me so much, I had to make pizzas again. Don't anger eat either. Tony C says, fire the hitting coach. Already grow some balls and switch it up now. Smash the like button. The Angels need to get a legitimate left-handed power hitter. We can turn this bus around. Well, the division's right there. The freaking play. There had to be so much that have to be done. I can't even say it. I want to say it, but as bad as this division is, the Angels are still not there. Don Hammond says, kind of wish we wouldn't have left Lugo in AAA for a little longer because he's going to get a little playing time right now. And here's the thing, too, that I will say that I'm completely and utterly frustrated with. So you draft Jim Johnson and you say, hey, we're elevating you to the highest part of our organization without you throwing one pitch for any kind of minor league affiliate that we have. You're the guy. Nobody else in the major leagues has ever done this. You're the man. And yes, he's been good at times. He's been roughed up at times. That's your fault. You decided to bring him up. Not his fault. He could have all the confidence in the world, but you're going to let the players call their shots? Did he call his shot as a rookie? Are you going to blame him? The Angels said, hell, we are. We sure are. You want to talk about messing up a player's confidence and ability? I think Joe Adele is the way he is because this organization abused him, sending him up and down, not utilizing him right. And then you get a guy like this who's phenomenal, who kind of looks like the white version of Frankie Rodriguez a little bit at times when he's got that slider going. And the fastball, the pinpoint accuracy is not there like Frankie Rodriguez. I'm not comparing him, but I just say he kind of has that kind of moxie to him too, where Rodriguez wasn't scared of nothing. And he kind of looks like he is that way too. But he's still got a ways to go, and he should have came through the minors. So You make a mistake, you bring him up to the AAA, you let him get his ass kicked, and then to build his confidence, what do? You don't even bring him down to AAA, not even Rocket City. No, they throw him to the single A affiliate. What are we doing here? What are you doing? Justin says being an Angels fan is like being in an abusive relationship. Man, I hate it. Sagano was excellent tonight. Rough matchup for the Angels. Every matchup's a rough matchup. Joe says cue the circus music because he feels that's how the team's playing. Yes, Joe, I would have to agree. Also, you got Mateo says, also when I come down from SoCal for Memorial Day weekend, I am driving up from the Bay Area. You know what? Oh, wait. Emmanuel says, I got kicked out of Angel Stadium last night. Oh, you got to tell us in the comments why. I did see someone get kicked out tonight over by where I was sitting. That was cool. My friend almost got kicked out for dropping F-bomb after F-bomb because it's an ice cream stadium. You cannot curse. Don Hammond says Hendricks didn't pitch bad. 5 innings, 3 runs isn't terrible. Can't win games if you don't score. Albert Pujols says the glory days are not gone. Demetrio says just passing through to say, fuck, go Angels, good night. Don Hamlin also says, yeah, I hate when fans constantly support the team. They got to be tired of losing by now. DFA Ward, Eddie Perez says, I agree right there. Kyron Paris has to go, Grillmaster says. Silent E says, if Artie was so concerned with profiting, then operating the MLB is not the way. All the profits come from when the team is sold. The team is worth 10 times what he bought it for. Exactly. Also, Sny Guy says, I'm glad less and less are showing up. What year will the Angels be good? Boy, Gabe, I wish I had a crystal ball for you. I don't know. I don't know because this team is not transparent. They don't tell you what they're doing. I don't even know if they have a plan, but if they had a plan, they wouldn't tell us anyway. So your guess is good as ours. Nothing changes till Moreno dies. I agree. Mateo says Detmers with a clean inning. Q Lombardi. Yeah, even Lombardi was shocked with a clean inning right there.
What the hell's going on out here?
Yeah, he tends to get mad. Eddie says Ron is too old for the position and clearly doesn't care about his job. Sny Guy says 2033, look for the Angels to rebound. Reed Detmers managed to get out. Q Lombardi or get him out.
What the hell's going on out here?
Emmanuel says over beverage, but I wasn't cursing or cussing anything to people, and I still think it was too much. Yeah, they're looking to throw people out, especially that's why I'm kind of worried because I do want to start sell the team Artie Chan at one of these games here coming up soon, get a big group doing it so they can't help but hear it on the radio and on TV. But it's kind of hard to do that to get a lot of fans to join in because so many fans will just drown us out with more of the Deo stuff. And I was in the first row in the left field ready for a home run. Tintin says, I'll join in. Well, we got to get something together. And again, it might be for the 24th. That's what I'm looking for because we have a bunch of shit going on the 24th. So we will be at the stadium for that too, a tailgate, and maybe we can get a section together. I'm working on trying to get tickets for a tailgate. And speaking of tickets, man, so I have some pretty good tickets for Sunday. Sunday I can't go, and I'll probably give those away on tomorrow night's post game. Which I might just give them away tonight. I don't know. It depends on how the show closes out. It's already 11:30, so most likely tomorrow. But I have tickets for the 102 section tomorrow. If anybody wants those, I got like 8 tickets for that, and I got 2 of my tickets, and then I'll be giving those away for free. And I got 3 tickets for tomorrow. If anybody wants those, I don't know what section they're in, but shoot, if they're in the 500s, make your way down to the bottom. Who cares? The ushers have checked out already as well. The only places where the ushers really enforce the tickets is the Diamond Club. Other than that, you can pretty much move into any section as long as someone doesn't come down and go, hey, those are my seats. You just got to go online and look like on any of these sites that you get tickets, hopefully 714, and whatever tickets are available, just go sit in those because they're still available. No one's buying them. Trust me, no one's going to buy them that late. If you're in the stadium and you get clicked in and you're already there and it's close to game time, no one's going to buy those tickets up. So Julian says, I live in Fullerton. I would like some, bro. Please email me at Halos in the Infield podcast, all together. Halo, no hyphens, no nothing, no underscores, no nothing. Halos in the Infield podcast at yahoo.com. And I'll send you those 3 tickets. And I have some more for Sunday. Like I said, I can't be at the game on Sunday, so I got like 10 tickets to give away. Tony C says, the thing, George, Jorge is going on the IL soon. He was limping, coming off the field pretty good. Fire that hitting coach already. Fuck! Yes, at Yahoo. Julian, also, I've been following the Angels since 1974. Go Halos. The Angels suck, says haters really to be hating on us Angel fans going to games. Let's be clear, fuck Artie Moreno, but we always support the Angels. How are we supposed to separate the two? And that's the bad spot that we are in as fans. I'm glad you brought that up because it's winter. It's lose-lose for us. It literally is, because we don't want to not watch the Angels. We don't want to not watch these guys do good, but they're not doing good, and we have a shitty owner, so we're stuck in between. Also, Eddie Perez says Lugo needs to get sent down again. The kid is trash. Don Ammon says Sagano is the Orioles' only good pitcher at the moment, but Effin will be back this series, and he's good, so we know he'll shut us down. Sny Guy says, fun fact, my grandfather was good friends with Ozzie Smith. That's pretty cool. Also, Disney says, hey, keep coming. I don't want my hours cut. I don't know what that means, Disney, as far as you must be working at the stadium. We'll keep coming. How's your opinion on Hendricks, Matt? Well, my opinion is he's good for what he is, eating up innings, pitching the way he pitched tonight. But hey, I mean, you need some runs scored behind you. On Disney DuckTales, you're brave. You're a brave usher, that's for sure. Also, Ricky says the only one that seems to care is Neto. Watching it bat after a bat, Neto is the only one that cares. Neto gave Renifo when he forgot how many outs. Tells you everything you need to know about this team. Sny Guy says Hendricks is not bad, to be honest. The offense is lacking. I agree. Julian, I will get to you as soon as the show ends, man, and I will send you those 3 tickets. Eddie Perez says took 3 steps back on the fly ball in front of him. Yeah, that's from him not knowing the team. Right there. Also, good evening, good everybody. No, I'm not going to read that. Also, TGIF Todd, see you tomorrow night. I will be there. He says, do you have the Russell Westbrook soundbite? Because if so, what? This team was asleep tonight. Exactly. Russell Westbrook. That would be this one right here, I believe.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Tony C says Reed Detmers pitched well tonight. Todd, keep it real. Don't sugarcoat it. This team needs to continue to shake up the team. I think you're right about Joyce, second Tommy John. Yeah, I think Grillmaster's agreeing with that. Also, Mateo says, as I heard that Joyce went on the 60-day IL, it has all that TJ all over it. Stop with the TJ talk. I'm sorry. I want to keep it to Tijuana, but yeah. And as far as 3 years away, it's we still haven't hit a reset button, so there's no timetable of how long this shit's going to take to get better. Also, balls, and we still don't know how to evaluate injuries. We don't, and we sure as hell don't play to win the game the way we hit.
Hello, you play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
Exactly, and it's unfortunate.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John
evaluate injuries. Sny Guy said heard it's a TJ injury. It could be at this point. We don't know for sure, but it sure as hell looks like it. We lost in our 7th and 8th inning, guys, so fast. Kevin Gregg available. That's a name. It's your boy says shoulder injury is never good. Shake my head. They'll probably never did a good job on evaluating him in the first place. Now something has popped in his right shoulder. Can we replace Mike Ock with Trout? Yes, that joke still is not good. Eddie Perez says, what can we get for Neto? I doubt Artie will pay him. We'll probably let him go to free agency. Also, Luke Johnson says there's no saving this dumpster fire at the time. Also, I'm not a Mike Trout fan anymore. He's old, washed, not a Hall of Famer. Don't at me. Jesus Christ. Trout is junior injuries. Mike Trout also says, I'm done, Todd. I'm going on the 60-day IL. Also, I can't love Mike Trout anymore. Well, I get it, Grill Master, but a lot of us still do. I will say eventually will it get to the point where Trout will have to think about playing out his career and just saying, forget it. It's probably where it's going. It's getting to be midnight, and Todd hasn't read my comments. Let's go. Sorry. Also, injuries have totally derailed that could have been a top 5 player of all time. And that sucks because that's what we were talking about earlier. Mike Trout was on his way to 700. My man is emotional. I sure am, Ricky. Tinton says, has there been any updates on Trout lately? Nope, because they're keeping it very, very tucked in. They're not saying anything, dude. And I doubt we'll get the full scope of things unless they really come out and say 60-day IL and longer. Eddie Perez says Neto will be gone the same way if we don't get nothing for him, sadly. Also, Mateo says, Todd, I read a stat line in the last 5 seasons. Rendon and Trout have played 188 of 590. Speed Gonzo says, what about Joyce? He's on the 60-day IL. Could be a TJ. Also, watch when we are lifting that trophy at the end of the season. I want to hear the talk. Whatever, Mike. Also, at Trash Halos, Trout should retire. I agree. Go enjoy all the sex in retirement. Tyler says he's tearing up, and that sucks because there's such a love affair with the Angels fans in Anaheim and Anaheim fans in Trout because he's so lovable. He's a great guy. So, and I think we were on board with Ohtani the same way until he did what he did. Ricky says, nah, Todd, retiring ain't it. This dude can still play better than league average. That's true, but someone needs to get to his swing. That power hitting swing sucks. Also, Trout deserves a statue, in my opinion, when he finally says it's done. Well, here's my thing. You need to really have Mike Trout, his number retired, along with Vladimir Guerrero on the same day. You can't do Trout before Guerrero. What the hell are we doing with one of the greatest players and our only Hall of Famer not have his number retired? You can have his number retired. If you remember, Mariano Rivera had it, they retired all the number 42s, but because he was grandfathered in, he was the last player to wear 42. So what that means is Mike Trout should be the last Angel to wear 27. He should be grandfathered in. Vladimir Guerrero should get a full ceremony, and it should be a Hall of Fame weekend for Vladimir Guerrero, and we celebrate his career, retire his number as an Angel, and then when Mike Trout decides to hang it up, do the same goddamn thing. Nobody ever wears a 27 for the Angels. The call link is there, so there you go. You can get on if you want. Also, Trout should retire so we can stop, trolling him. I am reading the comments, so I'm catching up to everything. Sorry about that. Age and health have defeated Trout. It happens. It's time for him to retire. Caesar says, Todd, question, if the attendance gets below 10,000, can somehow make a difference? It can, and it will. And if this gets to freaking, if it gets to that point in the season later on, yeah, you're talking August and September, you're going to have a real hard time drawing flies to this thing. Caesar says MLB got involved and asked Artie to sell a team. I wish they would get involved. Frederick also says MLB should have forced a crooked Artie to sell to Mayor Sadu, who scandal became when it came public. Also, 714 tickets is awesome. Matthew checks in with, couldn't agree with you more about a boring game. Once we went down, it kind of felt like we weren't ever coming back. 1-3 now at the stadium, but tonight just made me sad and sad leaving. Yeah, it was a tough one to leave right there. Also, Alex says trade Ward for God's sake, but no one would take him. Also, if I was Angels manager, I would have got tossed tonight to fire up the ball club. We couldn't develop eggs into an omelet. Fuck this. We couldn't develop eggs into scrambled eggs. That's why these guys are getting quick promotions. Sny Guy says we're on pace for 105 losses. Also, we lost to the Orioles, who are somehow having a worse season than us, but the fact that they are way below expectations and statistically are terrible all around is more embarrassing. Also, I'm I've sworn in Angel Stadium before. It's not like you live with your parents when you're young and you're told to watch your language. We can say without whatever we want. No, you can't. You still have those 3 boundaries you have to look at. And then also you can't say the F word. They will kick you out. Trust me. Sally, you're on the league profit shares. For example, when you buy the jersey at the mall, it goes to the league profits and they are shared. Mateo also says, so Todd, you're saying I won't see playoff baseball in my lifetime. Not for a while. Not for a while. Also, Janet says, I'm a mother and I would love to go on Mother's Day. Janice says, well, Janice, hit me up in the emails and I will forward you a couple tickets, or just ask how many. I'm not going to give you all 10, but if you ask for a couple, I will definitely give you a couple for Mother's Day. Let's see. Also, let's see how many Deos tonight. I believe there was 9. There was 9 more Deos. Yeah, a lot of those. Also, Dan Rio says every night at the Big A, we sit where you want and use the Heedy code, $4.50 to get in. Love you long time. So Dan's asking for this.
There's a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight, which makes me so horny, and me love you long time.
Mario hasn't been on in a while, so hey, what's up and how are you doing, Mario? And he says, what time is it? Q Lombardi.
What the hell's going on out here?
Also, I'm down to go for some tickets for tomorrow night. If those aren't picked up, Mario, I think was it the other guy over there on TikTok asked for them first. If not, I got some for Sunday. So we'll take care of whoever wants it. Just email me on that. Also, Sonny says, I guess there was a lot of misunderstanding in my comment. There's no profit shared for the sale of the team. My point is that if Artie stands to profit most once he sells the team, not while he's operating it. That's true, because he is taking a loss. LV says the season starts tonight.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
There you go. Also, Mateo says, look, I played baseball, and if I was struggling at the plate, I would have said, Coach, what am I doing wrong with my swing? I would said to him to spend some extra time and get practices. And you go over the book, you go over the tendencies, you go over previous performances, you go over the video. There's a lot of things to do. By the way, I put the link in there, Ricky and others that were asking. So if you want to get on, it's right there, the StreamYard link. You can get on, and I will talk to you. Spritz o'clock, Sega Boy says, you know what? Fine. We're far enough into the show. I didn't get a chance to play it earlier. Mateo gets the credit, though, because Mateo asked for it first. But here you are. Enjoy a botanical spritz.
Spritz o'clock, angels play. Win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more.
Sega Boy says, Kyle, the old beat down, broken bat, mobile, laugh my ass off. He looks like Matt Harvey. Dude, I forgot about Batman when he pitched with us. That's crazy. Albert says, I just saw Roger Lodge and Irvine in the AM 830 van. Hey, kids, I got candy in the van. Come in the van. Also, yummy tasting nut. And that refers to our good friend over there trying to copy what we're doing over here. That guy's pushing it like he started it over there with the post-game show. But his show sucks balls. But he loves to tell you how much he enjoys a yummy tasting nut.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson, former credentialed journalist in the LA area. How about a yummy tasting nut?
No, it's not, dude. Again, I tell him over and over and over, but he's just not listening. Grillmaster says the Orioles Hall of Famer Jim Palmer was at my Baltimore broadcast booth tonight for Baltimore, or was in the Baltimore booth. I interviewed him in 2018, my senior year of high school, senior project. That's pretty cool. I did not know that. There you go. So yeah, if you got if you want to get in, I'll put the link up one more time. You just have to click the link and then you can talk to me straight up. If not, we'll go to bed because it is approaching midnight and it's almost Mimi time. But I put it right there just in case. And we went on a long rant. We've done an hour right now, but I do have, let's see, maybe if I see on the email right now, let's see if I got any emails from anybody. Cause again, I got tickets to give away, yo. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. No, unless it came in the freaking spam. Cause I hate that when you get an email from somebody for the first time and it goes straight to freaking spam. TikTok, there it is. I was wondering if I could get 3 to 5 if it is our family eating tomorrow afternoon in Santa Ana. I can give you 3. So Julian's got it. I will send you 3 when the show's over. But if any, I'm sorry, Mario, but I got them for Sunday. If you guys want to go on Mother's Day, I have 10 tickets. So basically, if you guys and gals have anyone that wants to go, I would, if you want to go on a Mother's Day and hopefully this team can win one, then, hey, it is what it is. Just look up on the, what do you call it? Hit me up with an email on Halos in the Infield podcast at yahoo.com. I'll say it again tomorrow, but I got those 10 tickets and there's most of them are in 102, but then you have my 2 season tickets too, that I'll be giving away too. So there you go. Janice says I need the email here. I'll just write it out real quick. Because otherwise they're just going to be lost. You know what I mean? Like they're already paid for and everything. I didn't pay for them. So I got them for free and I was told to give them to our fans. And so why not? I like to share, especially when things are at the right price, which is free, dude, I jump on that too. So don't even trip. Like, again, I got a great price on my season tickets. I mean, great. So I am not complaining right there. But for Sunday, there's I don't know about the tickets for the 24th yet. I will have some tickets for that, but that's the email right there if you want to get in. I put it over here on the comments for what do you call it? There it is right there. And maybe if I don't know if I'll put it on the other side right there on TikTok too. Let me type it in real quick. If not, they already figured it out right there, but that's the email if you want. Janice, if you want it, you can hit me up and then I will send those tickets as soon as I get off of here. So with that being said, my final thoughts on the game, I know we got into Mike Trout and it is a very emotional thing for everybody because again, growing up, you have those players that you love and you follow and you support and they're on your favorite team. So again, you give your best. And it really sucks because again, I had favorite players growing up and I'll date myself if I name them, but Tim Salmon was one of them. My dad got me into Wally Joyner when I was a kid. And when he left and JT Snow got that spot, I was like, damn it, who's the Snow guy? And I did like him too, but there's certain players like I just liked Tim Salmon a lot. I love Garrett Anderson, most of those guys on the 2002 teams. And then my I guess the guy who wore his jersey around like with pride was Vlad Guerrero. And when we got him, I was super stoked. And I got a Torrey Hunter. I was happy with him. I even got a Bartolo Colon. I love that dude when he was here. And I love those players from that era. That was a great era. And when Mike Trout came along, he looked like like a superstar that was going to take us to the World Series, especially when he came up that first year and we're already in the playoffs. It's 2014. I was like, man, hell yeah, dude, this team's going to go far. This guy's going to be flirting with playoffs every year, in the playoffs every year, a chance to get to a championship again. And I was really stoked. And it's been nothing since. The organization's taken shit. The owner's a piece of crap. And, he's had several injuries. And it's been tough. So I like I said earlier, I'm gonna stick to it. It's not a hot take. I just think it should happen. If he goes out with a prolonged injury, you gotta really start leaning towards just hanging it up. And I don't think yes, it will be a sad day in Anaheim. It will be a sad day in Orange County, and it will be a sad day for the league. It will be Mike Trout, what could have been, and I want to see him turn around. I want to see him prove me wrong. I want to see him play for another 8 or 9 years in an Angel uniform, get to the playoffs finally and do some damage. with a core team around him, but those percentages are going down, man. And it's just, I don't want to see him in pain anymore, man. I'd rather see him retire happy and know that he gave it his all and his body didn't cooperate. And I'm good with that. I'm not good with it as far as like I wanted that to happen, but if he's going out on his own terms, fine. But I don't want to see the league embarrass him. And I think he's starting to embarrass himself with all these strikeouts. So, yeah, that's my final thought on that. I'd rather talk about stuff like that than freaking the way that they're playing like ass. So, you know, I want to give away tickets too so that you and your family can have a good time, you know? And that's all we ask about on this program and all our other podcasts is like, hey, man, like we want this to be a true community and to root for a winner. And we want this team to be good, but it's not in the cards, man. It literally isn't. And I'm willing to stick with it until we actually get good again. But who knows when that's going to be. But for right now, like when we get a win or a couple wins in a row, it's still awesome to see you guys get stoked, your comments, to see your pictures on, you know, when we're tagged about, you know, your fun at the game. And it's just awesome. And but man, it is really depressing though when you have injury news, when the team can't hit, it's just, and you go to the game because the atmosphere can be fun. And I think that's where Artie Moreno takes advantage of the fans is he knows he can get people to come to the stadium because their love affair with his team and the community and the players. It's not the love affair for him. Nobody's going to that stadium for him unless you're getting a paycheck from him. That is just the whole thing around that. Joyner is my neighbor. Oh, that's cool, Sny Guy. I would love to get an interview. You can hook me up with an interview with him. I would love you for a long time. So with that being said, a couple more things I'm going to play real quick. Don't forget about Zach Neto tomorrow, live and in person at the Rockin' Brews in Buena Park, right across the street from walking distance from Knott's Berry Farm, right across the street from Portals. And get your tickets at 714 Tickets. Come see us tomorrow too at 2:00 after the Neto thing for a cool hangout over there at Brewheim. Have some beer on us, hang out with us, and just have a good time. Talk some baseball, and we can commiserate together. But this is how the Angels 2025 season's going. I played this earlier. I'll play it again real quick.
Big one, take us behind those rocks.
Moving behind the rocks.
Keep going. You're good. You're good. You're good. And stop. Don't worry, Captain. We'll buff out those scratches.
And here's Willie Calhoun.
Well, I'm sorry you had to see my ass cheeks. And my nugget pouch. And my bulge. I guess what it all comes down to is that the angle of my dangle is inversely proportional to the heat of my meat, right?
What the hell are you talking about? Get out of here!
We're going streaking! Yes! No, I'm sorry. Sorry, we're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody!
Come on, everybody. Disney DuckTales, who works at the stadium, also says, don't forget Curtis Pride's book signing at the stadium tomorrow. I did not hear about that. Snide Guy says, I've got some BYU baseball connections. I'll try to get him to do one. Oh, that would be great. That is one of my favorite players of all time, Snide Guy. That was one of my dad's favorite too. So there you go. Also, I think that's going to be it for tonight. Randy checking in too, the producer to the Stars. He says Jets will have a better record than the Bears. Mario's all happy that the Pope is a Chicago fan because he's a Bears fan. So that's why he's all happy. So shout out to Mario. Shout out to everybody who came on the show tonight. We really appreciate you guys staying up late. It is 12 midnight. It is Saturday. So all of you degenerates who love Angels baseball, I applaud you. There's 118 of you are on right now. So that's pretty cool. We have 118 people watching on between Halos in the Infield, X, and YouTube. And then also we have, I don't know how many. It doesn't tell me who's on over there at what is it called, TikTok. So appreciate it. So for that, I want to say good night, and we will talk to you tomorrow after hopefully another win, and break the losing streak again. J-Dog says 118 unfortunate souls. Let's do it again tomorrow. Love y'all. Halos in the infield. Give a like, subscribe, tell a friend. We do love the Angels. It's just they're hard to watch. Good night, everybody.